Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to the Super Eagles Watch podcast powered by HotSports. The name is Victor Godfrey, and today we are all about the Super Eagles on their quest to make an appearance at the next African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Now, today's a special day because I'm not doing this alone. I'll let him do the introductions. He's a man that has a very wonderful way with words, you know, so be warned. You will be amazed by his speech pattern. Shuma, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Victor, so nice to see you, man. You know, it's seamless, even if you're not Osimhen at this moment. You're on Victor, you know, it was smooth like that. But I feel like saying right now, you know, in every single aspect, we always try to win your respect by doing even things you don't expect. So whatever you suspect, you're free to join in and inspect, because based on now in retrospect, you're going to find out we're better than every other prospect. Nice to be here, man.
I can't even, that is amazing. Again. That's amazing, Shuma. But it's good to have you here. Now, as you guys know, you can be a part of the conversation on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, but most especially on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe, because that shows us that you truly support the green and white and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, guys, we have to get into the business of the day.
Yeah.
We know that Nigeria's situation is in shambles. Best striker, as a matter of fact, Africa's best striker seems to be in limbo. My namesake, Victor Osimhen, and we also have to break it down in terms of if we are ready, because we had, to be honest, our World Cup qualifier hasn't been the best, Shuma, and now we have similar, you know, opponents. A very familiar friend. He's not a fool. Talking about getting raw. We're watching you get nuts. Well done.
That was quite raw from you.
Leave the guy. He's beating us for the first time in the history of the Republic. They're beating Super Eagles. How dare you? But it happened. We have to have our revenge. But your thoughts on the performances of Super Eagles over the weekend? We can start off with the Premier League. Captain,
the most popular one, right?
Is it the captain or vice captain or second vice captain? That's
one of the big boys in the team. I think we can just leave it at that, because you're going to think of Ahmed Musa and then Akon before you even call him and all of that, you know. But it's great. Leicester, you know, regaining promotion back to the Premier League, and then indeed he's stepping up to have that assist. They lost the game though by 2-1, but his header connected with Buonanotte and they scored. So he's coming into this camp in Uyo with some level of confidence, which is fantastic. I thought that it was also a good weekend for Lisanda, who plays for Orlando Pirates in South Africa. They qualified for their cup competition. It's a sponsored brand, a telecommunication brand, and then 8 is added to it. They never pay me yet, so I don't go add them. You know, but they are into the final, and he was the captain of that Orlando Pirates team. So there are a few good things around the place. Goalkeeper Nwabali just a few days ago signed a contract extension with his side.
He was also made the captain as well.
Exactly, for the new season, you know, 3-year deal. And he just showed that he's a keeper that can never get cheaper. Because he's 28 now. I think it's a case of stability.
Go Saudi Arabia.
Not true, but if they don't come find you, what you do?
But also, talking about goalkeepers, you know, for a while, for about 8-9 months ago, maybe 11, we were actually very nervous as Nigerians in terms of our goalkeeping situation. I mean, with all due respect to you know who, we didn't have so much confidence in him. All of a sudden, my lookalike, Maduka Okoye, is back in fine form. Have you seen how good he has been for Udinese so far this season?
He's talented. He's been massive, really. We know that he took permission in court, so decided to clear his head and then opted out of the national team for a while. And then has proven his mettle in the talent area, like you mentioned, and all of a sudden he's also confident enough to come back. But there's a thing about goalkeeping departments in national team or clubs. When you have the privilege of becoming number one, it takes so much for anybody else to dislodge you. And that imperious and impeccable performance coming through from performances now for all 7 matches we played in the AFCON by Nwabali has cemented that position for him for now. It's going to take some crazy mistake to have any other of the two options taken off him.
I feel like Nwabali should still be our number one. I mean, Okoye has been, I've been blown away. Some saves, I'm like, how did he, one-on-one, where you think, okay, that's definitely going to be a goal. But
both of you are fine boys, sorry, just add that part.
I'll take it anywhere I can. You know, people only call me you, but nobody says I'm fine, so thank you very much. I'll take that compliment. But I was going to say that because if you watch Nwabali, the way he plays for the Super Eagles, he's very good with his feet. He seems very calm. With Okoye, not so much. He's just a good shot stopper. He's very tall, maybe aerial threats, but I don't think he's very good with his feet and stuff like that. But talking about the Super Eagles, let's talk about the, attacking midfield position now. We have one of our very own Alex Iwobi, Big 17 they call him, and he had also a good weekend as well. Well, not a good weekend per se, but
a fortnight ago, kind of.
He has had a good start in the season as well.
Yeah, the fact that he plays regularly too is very important as well for his side. And
Marco Silva seems to trust him a lot.
Yes, so and feels like Silva is pushing him to get goal. That's the case is at this moment. But he's great, and that's what we want, because we want the very best of Alex Iwobi in the national team. Nigerians will not want to take off that mindset of expecting Iwobi to be like his uncle Okocha, which I think we need to cancel our thought process and just appreciate the guy. He came under intense criticism and people maligned his character and image during the course of the Nations Cup. But funny enough, he was an integral part of our success in that AFCON.
He was.
So hopefully the good form at club level and the fact that he's been playing consistently can come to the fore for the Super Eagles this match weekend.
I think over the weekend was our captain's birthday. Vice captain.
Okay, see the reason now, Abi?
I see the reason now. Okay, well, I'll say captain.
In Ekong you trust.
Yeah, he was. I was also surprised, a bit surprised that he went to Saudi, because before the season started in earnest, he was on target for his club side during the Champions League qualifiers as well. So, your thoughts on his move to Saudi Arabia? And shouldn't we have like our best players playing their careers in the best leagues in Europe? I mean, that should be the case for the Super Eagles, don't you think?
It should, no doubt about it. But we've also seen, players. Jordan Henderson, for example, went to Saudi Arabia, came back to Europe, and exactly, if not that he had injury issues, he would have played in the European Championship for England. He had fitness issues, and that's why Gareth Southgate decided to throw him out through the North Gate, as the case is. But on a more serious note, Ekong is already 30 plus, bro. It's about getting, there's no pension after football, bro. Go and get your money. He has shown leadership skills, the best player in the Nations Cup earlier this year. And I think there's nothing else you can ask of that guy. Just come there, give the confidence in that defense. Yeah, for a defender to be the best player in a Nations Cup, that's massive, man. So I think he's earned his right to go anywhere else and still be invited, at least as far as he keeps playing football.
Now, of course, we have to talk about the attacking lineup. Yes, Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Victor Godfrey. Oh wait, I'm not part of it. But Boniface didn't have the best of outings for with Leverkusen. They lost to RB Leipzig.
That beaten run ended.
Yeah, which was funny because what happened to them is what they usually do to teams last season, whereby they would come back from a goal down and have that late winner. For the 6 games unbeaten,
crazy man,
all done. And Boniface didn't have the best of appearance as well. So should we be worried? Because Boniface hasn't really translated that performance from his time at Leverkusen to the Super Eagles, to be honest. He hasn't stamped his authority as a striker for the Super Eagles. So should we be worried? Osimhen is in limbo. We'll get to that in a minute. Attacking option, Lookman, everybody just seems somehow.
I get you, because even Lookman too thought he was going to go to PSG at the point. It looked like that was going to come to fruition, and then there was no talk anymore for the Atalanta guy, and then Victor Boniface too. Everything that has a beginning has an end, surely. And it's crazy because again, it just goes with that famous line of ours: "Nobody who first called police, they win case." Leverkusen were leading by 2-0, and then RB Leipzig came back to win the game by 3-2, and they scored 2 goals, but Victor wasn't one of those to score for them. So again, I think that the thing about this thing is Nigerians were, I said thing like 3 times, but Nigerians were clamoring for Boniface to play in that Benin Republic game. Even before that against South Africa. What kind of coach is this? Why did you not play him? Finidi George, we're going to judge you, And then eventually he brought in Victor Boniface in that Benin Republic game. He didn't start, but then brought him in later. I didn't really feel his impact, with all due respect. He's an amazing striker, of course. And every player has a bad day, so let's say that this is a chance for him to show Benin Republic that he still is that guy, even if he couldn't do that in that World Cup qualifier. Now we're into the AFCON qualifiers.
Hopefully things will look different, because as it is, minus the fact, whatever analysis you want to put into it, at our core, we're all Super Eagles fans, and we want the national team to succeed.
You are welcome to the Super Eagles HotSports podcast. What is this situation like now in the camp of the Super Eagles in Uyo?
All right. The weather in Uyo is very clement. It's very good. There were light showers of rain earlier today, and that made the weather quite good for lovers of the game, And the frenzy that occasions the presence of the Nigerian Super Eagles is gradually building up. We know that the people of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, are very receptive. They're people who love football. They love the game. They love the players. They love to see matches, international matches played here in Uyo. And so they are warming up to the game coming up later this weekend. And I can see the excitement building up. That despite the fact that the last time out in June, the results were not very good, but this is football. This is our national team, and the people here are really looking forward to a second chance for this team.
As it is, Are the players coming into camp gradually now? Today being
Yes.
Monday?
Yes, day one, 7 players arrived very early Monday morning. I think that speaks to some level of dedication. It speaks to some level of commitment from the players. You know, beyond performance, punctuality is also very important for a team that wants to show discipline and character. 7 players arrived very early this morning. 2 more joined. That's Wilfred Ndidi and Bendel Insurance goalkeeper Amas Obasogie. So we have 9 players in camp as we speak. More players are expected before the close of business on Monday, and hopefully by Tuesday we should be having a full house.
So when do you expect to start training in terms of workout with the coach, Austin Iguavan?
The players will be having a gym session later this evening. On Tuesday, training will commence. Our coach, Austin Iguavan, is in Nigeria. We expect him to arrive camp anytime, any moment from now. And when he does, training proper will commence. But the schedule I've seen shows clearly that training proper will begin on Tuesday. That's tomorrow.
So the coach is expected to be fully on ground by tomorrow?
By today. He's in Nigeria and should get into Uyo before close of business today.
The task before the Super Eagles now, it's so massive. What is the mindset as the spokesman of the team in connection with this crucial game that will be played against an opponent that will also be confronting in the World Cup qualifier?
Well, once beaten, twice shy, you know. Benin Republic really gave the Super Eagles something to worry a few months ago. I want to believe the players have learned their lessons. They understand that losing against Benin Republic was not something that Nigerians took very lightly. It was the first time ever that such would happen. The players are committed to ensuring that that doesn't repeat itself. That was a World Cup qualifier. This is an AFCON qualifier. Same team, different competition, different tournaments. Remember, a few months ago, the Eagles were within a touching distance of lifting the AFCON trophy in Ivory Coast. They wanted to do it again. They got to the final. This is another opportunity to qualify for the same tournament and go as far as they can at the AFCON tournament. So I see determination on the faces of these players. I see regret as well on their faces, regret over the fact that the last international window was not good enough by the Super Eagles standard. And they are willing and ready to right every wrong during this period.
So you are expecting a positive result, no doubt, from these 2 encounters?
Absolutely. Going into every game, the mindset is about positivity. You know, no one wants to go into any football match to lose. These are professional players. They know what is at stake. They know how important football is to every Nigerian. They know football is premium to this country. And for whatever it was that happened a few months ago, it wasn't what was anticipated. It wasn't what was planned. And so, as I said earlier, these players are willing to right every wrong. And doing so will be getting the right results first against Benin Republic. I think the team is geared to take revenge to the Beninois when they come to Uyo. They defeated us in Abidjan 2-1. The Eagles want to give the Beninois a pound of their own flesh, and I see that happening here in Uyo. And then 3 days later, they go to confront Rwanda in Kigali. You know, they want to start the AFCON qualifiers on a very bright note, which will be, a different kettle of fish entirely. They want to set some records straight to let Nigerians know that this is still the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and that whatever happened during the World Cup qualifiers was just a blip that will be corrected when the World Cup qualifiers will resume in March next year.
Let's talk about the situation with our managerial situationship with the Super Eagles. It was announced that we had a new manager, and then it announced again that we don't have a manager, and then we have Eguavoen back in the picture. And Nigerians are just, I mean, we all know the economy is not at its best, but the last thing you want to worry about again is your national team. Shouldn't we at least have that on lockdown? What's going on in the NFF? Because everything just seems to be all up in the sky right now.
It's scary, really, because it looks like almost every time we do well in the Nations Cup, whether we win it or we come close, you expect us to build on that momentum.
But we don't.
In 1980, we did not. In the next AFCON in 82. When we won the Nations Cup in 94, we couldn't play in 96 because of General Sani Abacha and South Africa's issues. When we won the Nations Cup in 2013, we didn't qualify for the 2015 edition after that. So we always seem to struggle to build on these great feats, you know, and it's a big shame. I know, again, like you mentioned, man, the currency issues, the naira to the dollar ensures that it's become even more difficult. So if the NFF used to pay someone $50,000 before now, and $50,000, for example, may have been, what's 50,000 at 50 million? Could have been maybe 25 million or something. Now it's going to be even more crazy because we're thinking of, you know, a dollar to 1,600 naira plus. Wow. So it's become even more of a challenge. I would think that as much as they have explained that the Labadia thing was, we agreed in principle, but he said, hey, pay 40%. After paying me my regular salary, give the 40% tax to Germany. But I'm like, is glaring you guys input pen to paper, because there's no how he would have signed on a document and then turned without paying, you know. So why were we in a hurry? Why were we in a hurry to eventually announce, and now we're feeling sorry? It's crazy, man.
But my point is this, because, you know, you talk about the mindset of the players. Already we had this very public, ugly spat between Finidi George and Victor Osimhen, which I felt was uncalled for, to be honest. So the morale in the team just seems all over the place. Like you mentioned, the players took some massive heat from their performance in the final of the Nations Cup, which they shouldn't have, but you understand the passion with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So you think to yourself, do these guys want to play, or are they just fulfilling that quota to say, okay, on my FIFA, whatever, for my contract next time, I play for the national team, I have XYZ caps, pay me this amount of money, because that's what it feels like. That's why I'm not even just play for the national team, spend a week in Nigeria, see my family, and I'll go back again to Europe. So that's just about it. So because I feel like the morale is very low right now in the Super Eagles, to be honest. It just seems like a cloud around us.
I think you have a point, but again, there's the thing about Nigerians, all of us generally, are we as a people, which is you push us to the wall and then we find a way to fight back. And I'm not sounding or waxing lyrical or sounding philosophical.
You have been waxing lyrical all show long.
Pardon me, I'll not wax anymore. But you know, it looks like at this stage, these players know first of all that there were some words that were shared by Gennaro Raw after they beat Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers. He said he knew that they were going to beat Nigeria and all of those things. So more like, Chief, you were our coach before, but we need to humble you and quiet you. You cannot just disparage our character or who we are and all of that. And also the fact is, you want to play on the bigger stages. You already have played 4 World Cup qualifiers before this one, 3 draws, and then 1 defeat. Now the AFCON qualifiers start. You don't want to make the same mistake you made the last time. So I think everybody's under pressure. Osimhen Eguavoen and the 2 amazing persons who have been drafted into to assist him, the Rangers coach and the Remo Stars coach. Everybody's under pressure to deliver at this stage. And the players themselves too. You know, they will love to respond to their critics because they really have been criticized in the last set of months. But
final note on this Super Eagles coach stuff. I was just going to ask, do you feel Eguavoen is the man? Because, I mean, just recent track record. We lost out in the Nations Cup in Cameroon, round of 16. They didn't qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. I mean, don't get it twisted. Eguavoen, winner of the Nations Cup in '94, took us to the 3rd place finish in
bronze 2006.
So, but do you feel like maybe time has passed him by in terms of football and tactics, or maybe, who knows? Eguavoen proved me wrong. He could be the man.
This interim thing, this coming and filling the void for us. By the way, when you mentioned 2002, I felt like, you know, that period made me sick with cough and Qatar. The fact that we didn't qualify to play in Qatar, you know. But sorry. But you know, he's just that makeshift guy, and it's technical director for the NFF. I would have thought that at this stage, Eguavoen would be like, please don't be putting me in trouble, because if things don't work as planned, he's the one who will bear the brunt. He's the one that the bullet will be shot at by from Nigerians who already have said, guy, now you carry us. We lost to Tunisia, you know, in the AFCON round of 16. And even when we thought we could forgive you for that issue, Ghana here, you couldn't beat them to qualify for the World Cup. So Nigerians are still very angry at the man Eguavoen. But unfortunately, because of his role as technical director, is the fact that every time there's this mix up with the NFF and the coach, Chief, you have to be the one to help us out, because we cannot have anybody else who is interim. And I would have thought that if I were to be him at this stage, I'd say, no, don't put me under pressure. But I think one thing is certain for him. He knows whether he loses these games or wins these games, he will go back to become technical director of the NFF. So
it's a win-win for him.
Exactly the point. It's like you're not going to lose your job, as the case is.
It's a win-win for him. If, I mean, we don't even think that we're going to win. Positivity.
We'll win. Amen, amen, we'll win.
So.
Welcome to HotSports Super Eagles Watch. I am Ken David, and today we are on the streets of Lagos finding out the reviews of football fans on the upcoming Super Eagles match. Here we go. What are your thoughts, or do you think the chances are of Nigerian coming out victorious in the upcoming AFCON matches?
Well, the chances, I can say that I'm very confident about the chances of us winning in the matches. For the one against Benin Republic, the one that's happening in Uyo on Saturday, I feel like we have a home advantage because we're going to be playing here and there's going to be a lot of squad game and everything. I feel like our chances of winning is going to be very high. And with the fans like gingering them, or supporting them, okay, I feel like they'll have a lot of chance to win. And the one in Kigali, well, the away, since it's away, not in Nigeria, I feel like they'll still be able to do it. They have a lot of experience and their cooperation. But then, at the same time, because of the whole coach issue, I feel like they might not have a lot of cooperation. They don't have someone that's there to guide them, or they don't have the proper team play. Yeah. So I just feel like their chances, just give it an 80% chance they're going to win.
All right. So, the NFF has had more than 2 months to get a new permanent coach for the AFCON qualifiers for Nigeria. And they have till now they have not still gotten. So, what do you think about this current situation?
Well, I think it's a big problem from the NFF because we've had over 2 months to get a new manager after Finidi, and we are still in this dilemma. I feel like we need to go for the best. If they are taking a lot of time to pick a new manager, if they eventually pick that person, I feel like it should be one of the top guys that have actually coached an African country in time past. So we can't just go for anybody lesser, because even the guy that they actually picked before, personally I wasn't happy with the selection because he doesn't have any African experience. He's mainly Europe, German clubs and all of that, and we can all testify European football is far different from African football. So it is preferably that we go for a manager that has a track record managing African teams.
Osimhen recently has been having troubles with the transfer, and he has not been gotten or picked from any club. So how has this transfer news or update affected Osimhen, and how will it affect Nigeria in the upcoming AFCON qualifiers?
Personally, I think Osimhen is a guy that knows what he's doing. And he has already said that he has made his decision. So he already knows what he wants to do. So I don't really think that the situation around club level would affect him in this upcoming AFCON qualifiers. But I prefer Ademola Lookman. So I feel like with everything that's going on right now, Lookman is the guy for us right now.
All right, now let's talk about my namesake, who potentially could be the man to break Rashid Yekini's record in terms of the Super Eagles and goals. That is Victor James Osimhen. He is out of the picture with Napoli. Conte is a man with a massive ego. According to him, he was told that Osimhen wants to leave the club. So okay, I'm not going to play with him. He has a striker now, Lukaku, who scored against Parma over the weekend. Which way for Osimhen? Do you feel he could have handled it better? The allegations or rumors are that the pay cut that was offered at Chelsea was just really abysmal from what he was earning at Napoli, over 240,000 euros a week. So I think, what's your take on it, and how will it affect his career? Because his profile is about to take a massive hit as one of the best strikers in the world.
I think it was a messy situation and very unfortunate. I had the privilege because there's a colleague of mine who's very close to him, Osimhen. In fact, on one of those days I was with that colleague of mine, and then Osimhen called him to give him an update into what was happening. So I could generally take his words for it, and that whole reality of Napoli had their faults. Saudi Arabia came through with the money. PSG did that initially. Napoli opted to say no to it. It wasn't Osimhen. He had agreed personal terms with PSG. He wanted to go to PSG. It didn't happen. Saudi Arabia guys came through. He still wanted Chelsea as first choice on his jam form. Saudi Arabia was like second choice on that jam form of his, but
because of
Chelsea, exactly. Because of Marcos, and the argument was that he said Chelsea match how much Napoli are paying me. I'm not asking you for more, just match what they are paying me.
True.
But you are coming to give me 100 and something. By the time they take taxes off, they drop to 80 something. No. Who in this life will leave a more expensive job to go and play? And it's not like Chelsea and the Champions League. They are playing in the Conference League as a gate. So what exactly is the catch? Was it? Yeah. You said them right in that context. So I thought it was a mess situation, and then felt like Napoli were like, okay, guy, you had the mind to say no to our plans initially to swap you for Lukaku. Let us humble you too. And De Laurentiis is a man who stands, and I think he's too proud and arrogant sometimes. It's not just Osimhen. He did this to Spalletti, to the same coach that gave you your first start in 33 years, and then you sent him an email that you extend his contract by 1 year. You couldn't even call him for a meeting, somebody who achieved that feat for you. So I wouldn't blame Osimhen. Moving forward, in direct response to your question, I think that will give him even more motivation and galvanize him to play for the national team. Why? There's no club now to show that you're one of the best strikers in the world. It's when you play for Nigeria that the world sees that you have quality. So that anger will move to hunger, and it will become a banger. Sorry.
He just had to do it. But again, I have to credit to you on your ability to mix your words. It's just amazing.
I need to stop doing this thing.
You can't. Don't stop it.
Because you're a bad guy presenter.
No, wait, hold on. Listen. All I can do is just water and drink and bike. And that doesn't work. I mean, but you have a way of making it work so well. Well done, actually. So, guys, now you can be a part of this conversation. Remember, the Super Eagles will be in action against Benin Republic. They're called the Squirrels, aren't they?
Yeah, the Squirrels, yeah.
Wow, against Eagle.
I think they've changed their name now to change from that, but they were Squirrels for years.
You know, we're not just only Eagles, we're like Super Eagles. So imagine Superman and Clark Kent, does the thingy. You should have an S in our chest. And of course, we'll be taking on Rwanda in Kigali, in their brand new stadium. I have to say, it's a wonderful, beautiful stadium. I saw them launch a few months ago. Amazing. Looking forward to seeing the Super Eagles beat them there. As we have done in the past anyway. And now remember, be a part of this conversation on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, especially on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's know you love and you support the Super Eagles. Now, any last words without the rhymes, though, of course?
Yes,
go ahead. No, go with your rhymes. We want to hear what you have to say.
Okay,
let's go. Ready?
I didn't want to use the rhymes, but since you said you give me permission.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
My hope is that by the time Nigeria plays against Mali and Rwanda, Super Eagles of Nigeria will make those nations play like they have malaria.
Oh.
I want to see their level of hysteria every time we get close to their penalty area. So they look like we're watching a movie in the Galleria.
Oh, that's a nice one. If you can beat that, I invite you to try on social media. Of course, this has been the Super Eagles Watch Podcast. We say this all the time: be good, be safe, keep it going as a Super Eagles sports fan. Until next time, it is bye from us and bye for now.